Hey everyone, today I'm back with another 0 to 60 video. You guys seem to really like the last one I did for the Dodge Charger, so today we're doing another one of my favorite cars, the Dodge Magnum. So this will show every single Magnum model 0 to 60 and quarter mile times. I've tried to get footage of each vehicle going 0 to 60, and I'll display the time the car is capable of stock for each, alongside a photo of the car and a few comparisons of other cars to add more to the video. This will be done in order of slowest to quickest. I've tried to find the official stats as well as the top speed for each without taking into account the governor, which is electronically limited to match the tire capability that the car came with. Also, please note that each video shown may not necessarily be a perfect run that matches the listed times. I also want to point out that even though the Magnum has identical powertrains to the Dodge Charger, usually the posted times were at least 2 to 3 tenths of a second slower for most automotive outlets, for example Car and Driver or Motor Trend. I'm not 100% sure on the exact reason for this, but the Magnum weighs more. For example, the chart here shows the RT is 128 pounds heavier on the Magnum than the Charger. The aerodynamics are also different, as the Magnum has lower top speeds. There also could be different calibrations or tunes done to the vehicles, which could be less performance focused than the Chargers. Anyways, now let's get on to the video. We'll begin with a little bit of history by talking about the origins of the Magnum wagon. The Dodge Magnum SRT8 concept car was first announced at the Greater Los Angeles Auto Show in 2003. This Magnum was similar to the production version, but it looked cooler and more aggressive because of its wider stance and bigger wheels and tires, 20 by 9 inches up front with 275mm tires, and 20 by 10 inches in the rear with 295s. That SRT8 concept had the 5.7-liter Hemi V8, but it wasn't just the ordinary Hemi, as this one had a Whipple supercharger, raising the output to 430 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque, paired with a 5-speed automatic. So Dodge estimated this concept could do 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, and the quarter mile in 12.5 seconds. So now we can get onto the production version 0 to 60 times. The slowest Magnum model by far is the 2.7-liter V6 powered versions. These were paired with a 4-speed 4.2 RLE automatic, and had just 190 horsepower and 190 pound-feet of torque, and the horsepower dropped to 178 in 2008. Just like the Charger video, for each model I'll also post this comparison chart. It's a totally random selection of 8 other vehicles with similar 0 to 60 times, but I've made sure they're all from the same era, so 2005 to 2010 for all. With a 0 to 60 time of around 10.5 to 11 seconds, the 2.7-liter should have never been put into any of these LX vehicles, and it would likely be beat by minivans like the Dodge Caravan SXT and Buick Terraza CXL, and other vehicles like the Hummer H3, Honda Fit Sport, Hyundai Elantra SE, and Toyota Yaris S, to name a few. Next up is the 3.5-liter V6 powered Magnums. The rear-wheel drive versions were matched with the 4-speed automatic for 2005, but they did get the 5-speed NAG1 W5A 580 automatic from 2006 and onwards. These engines had 250 horsepower and 250 pound-feet of torque. I have to say here that it was very tough to find legitimate numbers for the Magnum, as virtually no car websites or magazines had ever tested the 3.5-liter Magnums, as they already would have done so for the far more popular Charger or 300s. Using lots of data from people on forums who own these cars, and my judgment and knowledge in driving them, I put the 0 to 60 range at between 7.5 to 8 seconds. The Charger SXT time was around 7.5 seconds, and the Magnum is usually 2 to 3 tenths of a second slower, so I think that's a fair estimate, and same goes for quarter mile. That puts the SXT in the territory of vehicles like the Scion TC, Lexus IS 250 all-wheel drive, Nissan Altima 2.5, Toyota Camry Hybrid, Mitsubishi Lancer GTS, and Pontiac Vibe GT. There was also an SXT all-wheel drive model right from 2005 to 2008. These models had the same 3.5-liter V6 engine, but all had the 5-speed auto. There's lots of debate on how the all-wheel drive system impacts the performance. It is roughly 157 pounds heavier than a rear-wheel drive Magnum, but also the all-wheel drive system launches harder. I would think the two offset each other, and the performance times would be similar to a regular SXT. The 5.7-liter Hemi Magnums are next, but unlike the Charger or 300, there are just 2005 to 2008 pre-Eagle versions, and nothing after that, of course. These cars had 340 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque, and were all paired with the Nag 1 5-speed automatic. There was the addition of a road and track package for 2007 and 2008 models. They were identifiable with a red RT grill badge, 20-inch wheels, heavier duty suspension, SRT8 leather and Alcantara seats, and a larger exhaust system and different air intake, resulting in 10 more horsepower up to 350, similar to a Dodge Charger Road and Track or Daytona RT model. Here, many of the automotive outlets tested a stock Magnum RT at roughly 6 seconds to 0 to 60, some slightly faster or slower. This was comparable to a Mitsubishi Eclipse GT, Mercedes CL550, BMW 328i, Volkswagen GT, Infiniti FX35, and Lexus LS460, among others. There were also RT all-wheel drives from the same years, with the same 5.7-liter Hemi and 5-speed automatic. Here, the RT all-wheel drive is actually quicker than the RT rear-wheel drive, at least on paper, by a few tenths of a second, according to Car and Driver, and you can see their article on screen. That couple tenths of a second gets the Magnum into territory with the Mercedes E500 wagon, Saturn Aura XR, Audi A5 3-liter, Camaro V6, and Genesis 3.8-liter. Before we get on to the SRTs, I've got to mention the Magnum police cars. I'm not sure they were very popular, but they did exist, starting with the 2006 Dodge Magnum Police Special. Offered to law enforcement was both a 5.7-liter rear-wheel drive and a 3.5-liter rear-wheel drive. These had your typical police upgrades like heavy-duty cooling, suspension, BR8 brakes, and a column shifter. There will be no videos of these simply because I couldn't find any, but the Department of State Police in Michigan does trials every year, so I was able to find the 2006 results where both the 3.5 and 5.7 Magnums were tested. The V6 did 0 to 60 in 9.14 seconds, and the quarter mile in 17 seconds flat, while the V8 did 6.55 seconds, and 15.05 seconds for both. You'll notice they are quite a bit slower than the production version. There are a few reasons for which could explain this. First, the final drive ratios were different on the V6, where it was 3.64 to 1, but on the police version it's 2.87 to 1. But the V8s were both the same at 2.82 to 1. The police cars also were tested with full weight, and that added 144 pounds to the V6 and 72 pounds to the V8. Now, the quickest and most powerful Magnum that one could buy would be the SRT8s. These had the 6.1-liter Hemi V8 under the hood, paired with the same 5-speed automatic transmission as the other models. That engine made 425 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. With the SRT8, both Motor Trend in 2006 and Car and Driver in 2007 had their Magnums hit 60 in 5.1 seconds, but their quarter miles were half a second apart from each other, hence the range of 13.1 to 13.6 seconds. With these quicker 0 to 60 times, here we can compare the 6.1-liter SRT8 to some very nice cars, including the Audi S8, Bentley Brooklands, Maserati Grand Sport Spider, and Aston Martin V8 Vantage Roadster, along with a Nissan 350Z Nismo, Dodge Neon SRT4, Ford Taurus SHO, and Infiniti G37 Coupe. So there you have it, all the acceleration and top speeds of each engine from the Dodge Magnum from 2005 to 2008. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Were there any surprises for you here or anything that you found interesting or odd with the numbers or comparisons? Let me know down in the comment section below, and let me know which car I should do next. Thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe for everything Mopar, and I'll see you in the next video.